You've just stepped into the Buzzy's Country Store podcast, part-time porch talk, part-time therapy session, and all heart. I'm Chief Larry, and along with your host, J. Scott Ridgell, we're serving up real stories with a Buzzy's twist.
Okay, one of the questions people always ask me when we get talking kids and all, and I mention you, and they say, well, where is she? And I say, she's out in Hawaii. And they go, oh, how did she get to Hawaii? And if I have the time or the inclination, I'll give them the, PhD thesis story on how you ended up out there. Most of the times, though, I just say she was born March 2nd. She's a Pisces. Pisces love water. She loves water. Hawaii's got a lot of water. So I know that's a lot of times they go, oh, well, then I'll tell you the second question. We'll talk about that too. What's she doing out there? So let's do the first question. I know you left here and you went to San Francisco, but you kept going west. You go west, young lady. You went west.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I actually thought I'd ever make it past the Mississippi.
What, did you drive? Did you drive or
No,
how'd you get out there?
So I went to Charleston with Kim
Right.
to take a lifeguarding job. And then from there, remember the guy, the Creole chef? When you came down there, you met the guy and you were like,
yes.
he's the
Yes.
Creole chef. So the Creole chef got a job out in Arizona chefing at the Dude Ranch.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Dan Quayle.
Right, exactly. And so then I went to the Dude Ranch.
Tell that story of you meeting Dan Quayle and telling him how you,
I don't remember.
He came to visit his mother at the resort where you were working, and you told him, I was at your inauguration. And
Okay.
I'd forgotten that Dan Quayle was even the vice president but we all went to that inauguration, and you got him to sign a placemat or something for Dad.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I can't. It's too much.
Now, see, I'm the one that should be.
I remember he was there.
Remember me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to divert you.
No, that's funny. That was a good one. So from the Dude Ranch, then I met a girl there who had gone on one of these kind of adventure trips. It was this hippie guy who he was from New York or East Coast that went to San Francisco during the hippie bang and built these school buses that were outfitted to do tours. So she had done that, and I thought, oh, that sounds fun. And so I went and did that. And then I just happened to be on the trip that was with some of the people that worked, the right-hand man of the owner was on that trip with his buddy. So I got to be friends with them. And so then when I got back to San Francisco, they offered me a job there. And, I always wanted to go there because that's where Mom was born.
All right.
Right. So
Very
there was
good.
a lot of history there with Mimi and Mom. So I was happy to be there. And then Aunt Angie came out. She was working at USF, the Jesuit, the Catholic college in San Francisco. And so I met up with her and a group of the group that she was doing their cohort with. And she said, what are you doing with your life? And at that point, because in the hostel, there were so many international people, I was like, well, I think I want to teach English in Turkey.
Very good. Why Turkey?
Yes. I had at that time, I had an obsession with Mount Sinai and Noah's Ark. And I felt like that was the place I wanted to go internationally. And so she said, well, these people, they run a school in Micronesia. Would you want to go there? And so that was the beginning of the the beginning of the internet. And so I went back to the hostel and we actually had internet. I set up my first email there and I Googled Micronesia and I saw this little island, remote. And I was like, yep. Didn't even have a cell phone. No, I saw her the next day. I said, oh, yeah, I want to go. She said, okay, well, we'll pay you $16,000 a year and buy your plane ticket. And I was like, sounds great.
Touchdown. Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, was that Guam? Was that the small island, Guam?
It was Saipan.
Saipan.
So that was, Yeah.
Right.
So it's like a small island next to Guam that's a little bit it's politically different than Guam, but it's still an American
Right.
territory.
Well, and so the deal was to teach English to at this Catholic, was it a Catholic like missionary school or what?
This was just like a regular Catholic school, like St. Michael's, really small
Uh-huh.
Catholic school, and it just happened to have a relationship with the University of San Francisco. Like, I'm not sure like which came first, in terms of like, did they all go there to do their masters? But somehow, well, Angie was actually involved with them and that school through USF, but more specifically because there had been case, a legal case. And so she had been involved with that because that's kind of like that was what her specialty
Well, she was
was.
a lawyer. She was a lawyer, right? And she was also, you haven't mentioned, but she was a nun. She was a sister.
Yeah, yeah,
And
she was a sister.
and her name was Angela, which is your middle name, your
Right,
namesake. Okay.
right.
Just
So
so
she
just
intervened and like altered my
she
destiny
was like an angel.
quite dramatically.
Yes, yes. So you go to Saipan and you're working
Yeah.
for, was it nuns in charge?
So it was kind of like actually just how it is in the US. Like it's like mix of nuns,
And
the
lay
priest is
teach.
there, the church is there, the school is there, and then lay people of all different like degrees. And so and also they had a recruiting program with the University of Ohio. So there was like a
Huh.
group of Americans from Ohio there, which made it kind of interesting too. Yeah, and so I was there as a long-term substitute because they had 2 teachers who were, pregnant, and so they needed people to fill in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and so in the interview, they said, "Oh, yeah, we think you can do that, but do you think you can pray?" So, "Oh, yeah, I'll pray. I can do whatever. Get me to that island."
Been praying
You
all my
know?
life, right?
Yeah, so yeah,
So
so
what
I
what
went
grades were you teaching? What was it?
my first one was 6th grade.
Okay.
So the first round was in 6th grade, and then I had a round in 3rd, 4th grade, and then 1st grade. And then they found a job for me, like, in the library, where I'm trying to sound professional, but a lot of times in the library, I would just me and the librarian, she would just, like, let me sleep in the room in the back and
Well, what
stuff.
I wasn't going to get you to tell this story, but since you mentioned sleeping, didn't you weren't you working at the Hard Rock Cafe
Yeah.
and
So
didn't
then
tell
yeah.
that story?
So, yeah, so, like, me and the people from Ohio, we didn't have a lot in common, like, so I was like, "I need to be more busy," because it was, like, pretty much work, drink after, watch the sunset, work. It was very exhausting, especially if you're not a morning person. But I got a job at the Hard Rock, bartending. It was super fun, with all the Filipinos, so I got to make friends with the Filipinos, which was cool because I also had a thing with the Philippines, right? Because of mom and
Yep.
Mimi and the
Yep.
Philippines. So I made friends with the Filipinos, and one day I was at the bar and I was like, when you're far away from home, and that was far. Like I was young and that was far from home. I saw this guy and I was like, I know that guy. Like I'm like, no, I know that guy. Like I'm like 100% sure. And so I like went and stood in front of him and I was like kind of like shocked, and he was like kind of shocked. And we were there and we were like having this moment. And it was a guy I went to high school with named
No.
Eric Corbin. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you doing here? He was in the Navy and they were taking a leisure stop there for just a few days. And yeah, so then like I started talking to other people and it turned out that the Merchant Marines, what's it? Harry Lundenberg
I
people, there
remember.
was a bunch of people that were coming through there that had been in Piney Point and
Oh, I had a
yeah.
couple. I had somebody here in the store that met you. I forget who that was, but he gave me something, or I gave him something to take back to you. I don't know. No, that's where my memory fails me. Well, fast forward. Then what? Didn't the nun kind of jack you up for? You were. I remember saying something to you that the sister got mad with you, and I said, "Oh no." She put in your contract that you couldn't work at the Hard Rock
Oh
Cafe.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
go ahead. And I said, is that because she didn't like the idea of you being out there rocking and rolling? And your answer was she didn't like you sleeping the next.
Yeah, I couldn't wake up. I already couldn't wake up to make it to the classes, and then, like, when I was bartending, like, I really couldn't wake up, and I was, like, falling asleep in the day and stuff. Yeah, I
Well,
figured out pretty soon, like, teaching wasn't for me, like,
well,
that schedule was
you
just
did it
hard.
for what? 3 years, right? Three
I
or
did it
four?
for 2
2
years.
years.
2 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
so and then the AmeriCorps program rolled in, right?
Well, okay, so I figured out that if I became a Micronesian resident, then I could go to school in Hawaii as a in-state.
Oh,
So it took me I needed 2 years to get my Micronesian residency, and Amanda came the 2nd year, so that, like, made it way better.
Amanda Mead Yard.
Yeah,
Yep.
and so then I got my residency and applied for school in Hawaii, in Hilo, UH
Oh,
Hilo.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then when I got to Hilo is when I did the AmeriCorps job.
Oh, I thought the AmeriCorps got you. So I see how you got
No,
there. So
yeah.
you get to Honolulu and you are going to U of H, right?
Well, I should have I went to Big Island first, so I went to UH
Oh,
Hilo first. I started in Hilo, and then I transferred to Manoa a year and a half later, and then I stayed there.
stayed there, and then
Yeah.
you went on and got your master's there too, right?
Mhm.
And that was sports training or sports,
Yeah, in kinesiology with, with the sports med, specialization.
right? Right.
Yep.
Hey,
So
you want to tell your Valentine's Day massacre story when you were at the restaurant and you were going to kick the guys? The bartender
oh
wasn't
god.
serving you he wasn't fixing your drinks for your people. So you threatened to kick his butt.
Oh, no.
You forget that one too?
I don't remember.
Oh, that's dissociative
I'm
thinking.
glad.
See,
That doesn't sound like
well,
a good
no,
that
no,
doesn't sound
it had a good ending. You called me. You were upset because they fired you. They told you to go home, and the and I said, hey, it's Valentine's Day weekend. They're going to be hard up for help. Go back, apologize, tell the manager what was going on, that the bartender wasn't fixing your drinks. I think you were the only female out of 10 men working. And remember, you were at that high class club that Dad and I couldn't even get into because it was strictly for lobbyists and
yeah,
politicians and moneyed
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Sort of vaguely remember this?
I remember that place, but I don't remember the Valentine's Day massacre, but I don't doubt it because it was very stressful. It was a very stressful
Yeah, well,
job.
you said you told him if he didn't start fixing your drink, you were going to kick his, you know what, and you said, Dad, the county girl in me came out, and I said, good for you. Sometimes you have to let it out.
Oh my gosh, I do not remember that, but I could see myself, like, snapping.
That was
Yeah.
your waitress phase.
Ugh, yeah.
But I do admire you because you've done pretty much all this sort of by on your wits, as far as work wise. I mean, Hawaii is one of the most expensive places in the world, and you've done it for what, 20 some years now.
Mhm.
And basically, you never punched the clock. You were always working at something you enjoyed doing. You were, as far as the Pilates, the yoga, the web design, and well, now the photography. Let's talk your current thing. I'm really tickled about this one, that you are now a photographer.
Yeah.
How'd you get that job?
Okay, so from the college, the waitressing was during college, and then after college, like, I worked, remember? I, like, worked, and I, worked in, like, physical therapy and
Right,
Pilates, that's how I got to Pilates, so I did, like, a long stint in healthcare, which moved me to Maui, to the dispensary, that was kinda like my step out of that formal orthopedics, like, setting, and, so then through COVID, I still stayed in that healthcare grind, And then I was working with a doctor after I did my walkabout again. I did like my Peruvian walkabout in 2022. So when I came back, I started working with a doctor, and the idea was that he was going to train me for another doctor who is an ortho that I worked with on Oahu. He's a surf doctor, actually. He's going to buy the practice, and then I'm going to help him run the practice. So that's how the position was pitched. I'm going to be there. I'm going to learn to run it with them. And then Clay's going to buy it, and we're going to run this regenerative medicine stem cell,
Wow.
um, yeah,
Now,
practice.
what do you mean
But
surf doctor? Was he working on surfers he
yeah,
surfed?
he surfs, and he wrote a book called Surf Survival.
Huh?
It's like a medical, book for surf, like, medical related surfing conditions, and then he did some wilderness medicine and ended up in Hawaii because he wanted to surf, and so I did a lot of work with him in orthopedics doing bracing, yeah, during that time, and him that's how I met the doctor on Maui who does stem cells because he's one of the surf doctors also, so they travel, like, all over the world and have
Oh,
these medical meetings, yeah, where the waves are good because 'cause they're doctors and they surf.
right. Right.
So
So what happened with
so,
the plan?
yeah, the plan was it was like I was like, "When is he getting over here? Is he really gonna buy it?" No. And so it turned out, like, really, they just, like, wanted me to be their medical assistant, and it just,
Ah,
like it was exhausting, and it just wasn't not and they wanted me to learn phlebotomy, and I just, like, didn't want to
yeah.
because it was gross and, like, I don't know, I just yeah, it just wasn't going really well.
Right.
Um, it wasn't a long-term thing, and so one day I just, like, Googled I just went on Indeed, and I was like, "I gotta do something else," and I, like, sent out 10 resumes. Anything that sounded remotely interesting, and that's how I got the photography job.
All right.
But there's more to the photography job, because 1, you were a photographer, so it's always been, like, in my mind. 2, I always liked taking pictures, and then when the iPhone came out, like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to take photos.
Yes. Yes. The
Yeah,
iPhone revolutionized photography. Believe
and then
that's true.
yeah, it did, and then I started doing a lot of, like, yoga photography when I did
Huh?
my pre-Maui walkabout when I went to the ashram in the Caribbean and did that. I met a girl there who, like, inspired me to do, like, yoga photography, which was myself and others, and it was, like, such a cool tool to, like, give people, like, "Oh, let me take some photos of you doing yoga, make you look, like, really awesome, give you something you can be proud of, and then teach them how to do it." So Cassie was doing that, so she could take the pictures of
Oh
me.
yeah, Cassie. I know Cassie.
Yeah. Yep, yep. So, yeah, that's kinda how it started, and so I got the job, and first day on the boat, 4th of July, just, like, shoved me into it. I did not know how to use a manual camera at all.
Oh, and I couldn't use a cell phone for that, I imagine.
No, I had to use, like, the
Yeah.
digital camera,
Right.
which, film camera, digital camera is also, like, a whole different you can if you have some coaching and some sense, you can figure it out.
Well, you did,
Yeah.
obviously.
Well, my real ambition was to do the underwater photography. A friend of mine, here, sort of here, Big Island, Oahu, does underwater photography. He's really successful. Like, he has a gallery. Well, he works in a gallery on the Big Island, and he had this turtle picture that he named Peekaboo. And overnight, like, one of the Nat Geo sites posted his photo, and overnight he sold 20,000 copies
Wow, you
of
got it?
the
You got a
photo.
copy of it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
shoot it to me. I'll put it
Put it up?
I'll put
Yeah,
it here
okay,
with the,
okay.
you don't have to do it now. But,
Okay, I'll do it later. Yeah, peekaboo.
so you've been doing this now for what? Couple years?
It's been 2
2
years. Yeah.
years.
Mhm.
And, you're actually making money at this. I mean, this is, pretty good, right? As far
Yeah, so I work for a photography company, and we do, like, a 40-60 split. So it's commission based only. So, you eat what you kill kind of thing.
Oh no. Well, that's a good way to
Gotta
put it.
be good. You
Well,
gotta be good.
well, you're out there with the whales, right? Is that your busy season?
The
When
busy season is whale season, and summer snorkel season is really good. I
so
like it a little.
so are
Yeah.
you doing the underwater photography then after all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I knew you
Mhm.
were doing the whales. And you
Yeah.
said that you can sometimes do 2 and 3 parties a day as far as you go
Oh,
out
yeah.
in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's good.
We
And
try.
you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess too, the thing about, and I can relate a little bit, seasonal business is kind of fun in the fact that you can bust it for 3 or 4 months and then you can
Mhm.
take a breath and sort of exhale and relax a little bit. And
Yeah.
there's something to be said about that. So
Mhm.
are you in the season now? What is the season for the whale watching? It's like,
Whale season is December 15 to April 15.
oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah. But we have a whale here already,
Really?
which is very early. Yeah. Last week was the first whale. It's very, very early. Normally, we wouldn't see a whale until like the end of October, or mid-October at the very earliest. So, yeah.
Well, so does that get everybody, hey, we better
Oh,
start booking.
people are well, the busiest time is going to be when you're here. That's like peak. Your birthday is peak whale season.
Is,
Valentine's Day, it is like there are thousands of whales here.
huh.
Yeah, a lot.
Now, why do the whales come back? Do they come back there to mate or whatever they do? Or why do they
Yeah,
all, is that what they do?
they come here to give birth and
Oh,
mate.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
because the
it's,
water's warm and shallow.
and it's, now when I went that time, it's right there, right off of Lahaina, was right there in that, what was that called, a bay or whatever. But it
Yeah,
seemed like
it's
they
right.
were all over the place.
Yeah, they're in that whole South Shore sanctuary where
Mm-hmm.
the water's like small or shallow because the islands are all there. It used to be one big island, and then during the ice age it sunk, and so now there's this basin and
Oh,
it's
okay.
pretty protected because there's islands all around it. And that's why they like it there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when I'm coming for my birthday, 75, and that's the next trip. So always when I finish a trip, I start
It's
looking
a big
forward to the next one. So I can't wait to get out there. And one of the things that I was thinking about was the Eddy, and you just told me that it would probably not, that it's usually December, January, I guess, but they've run it the last 2 years. I understand they've only run it 11 times, and 2 of the 11 have been in 23 and 24 last December.
That's
So
true.
you think it's getting warmer or climate change or something? The waves are getting big. The wave, for people who don't know, the waves have to be what, 25 foot before they run
20
this.
Hawaiian. So that's about 40 feet metric, like our scale.
Oh, really?
Hmm. So because they measure it from the back of the wave, not the face of the wave.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be a 20-foot wave, I think.
Well,
It's
if
got
it,
to be big.
but
It's
and the
got to be
problem
big.
is you only have like 24 hours or 48 hours to get there to know when it's going to be held.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the big wave surfers, they kind of live like that.
Well,
They are, yeah.
they're there anyway, probably, aren't they?
A lot of them are here anyway, and they're like, that's what they do. They like chase waves all over the planet.
Yeah.
So they have to be invited. You have to be invited so they know, and then they'll have wild cards in case those some people can't show up or make it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I saw where the winner last year, this Landon McNamara, he's a musician, good
A
musician.
very good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He was just in New Jersey like last week. He's so good. He's
yes, yes.
an awesome
Well,
person too.
I'll be honest. I've kind of lost the music scene, but when I went through and looked and saw who won last year, and I saw Landon McNamara, and it had musician, and I went, well, I haven't heard of this guy. So I YouTubed him and pulled him up. I'll put his video on this podcast here down below a little bit
Yeah, he's
later
really
when we
good.
do that. How about you? Have you been out there? Do you go once a week, twice a week, every other week surfing?
I basically surf when the waves are good. And now where I live on the mountain. I'm kind
I
of far
know.
from the beach.
Kaliakala,
Um,
what is it?
yeah,
Huh? Kaliakala?
Haleakala. You
That's
said it
not the
right.
one that's active, right? That's
No,
no, that's down on the Big Island.
debatable, but no, not active.
Right.
The Big Island is where Kilauea is the one that's like
Kilo,
going off
it's
all the
still
time.
going off. I saw something where the Big Island is actually growing because all this lava is coming down and turning into part of the landscape. So,
Yeah.
so the Big Island might get to be the bigger island if it keeps on.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what Maui was like before, hence why, it sunk, like the parts that sunk, but that was all one big island before. So they call that like the Maui Nui Basin. But Big Island, like if you look at maps from even 50 years ago, it's a different shape.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of topography, geography, you're in a valley, right? There's a valley that runs through the middle of Maui, and you're at the foot of the mountains, but that valley runs all the way to the North Shore. The,
So there's basically two mountain ranges on Maui, like kind of like this. Haleakala's here, and then the West Maui's here, and Lahaina's on this side. And then there's a valley, a
right.
big flat valley, and that's where town is. That's where the airport is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they call it the Valley Isle.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And it's always funny when I look at the map. I think you told me how it looks like a woman looking west,
yeah,
the head and the breast or whatever, and
yeah.
your home is kind of like right at the bosom of the breast, or if
Well, Kihei. The South Shore is, but like yeah, just above that. Yeah,
that's
I'm
always
in
my
the same. Yeah, I'm in the same A'upua'a, which is like, from the mountain down to the ocean. It was like they're like districts of the island. And yes, I'm in the mountain part of like the heart of Maui. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you are. I still talk about the road, the back road to Hana, and every once in a while I'll get sweats thinking about going around that one turn, and I go, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe they let people do that. You haven't done it lately, have you?
Well, have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Man, no.
Okay. Well, the first time I ever did that back road to Hana, it was I wasn't even driving, but I just like was like, wow, that was like the scariest thing I've ever done driving. It was terrifying. And then when I went back, it was like a completely different, it was not that scary. Like the way I remembered it and the way that it was when I went back, it wasn't the same.
Ah, ah.
Yeah.
Well, what
Mhm.
I remember about it was when we were coming up on that turn, you said, now this is the bad boy. And you switched, you were in the back seat. Pam was in the front. You were in the back and you slid over to my side, the driver's side. And I said, why are you doing that? And you said, to kind of give some weight if you do go off the at least this side. I go, whoa. and
It
and then
feels like
meanwhile, were there buses coming
yeah,
around,
yeah,
and the little jitney bugs with the tourists. They were
yeah,
they're coming around and they're acting like nobody's there. I mean, I wouldn't do it again.
you gotta do it again just to see how
Uh,
you just have to time it so that you're not going in when the buses are bombing out.
well, again, too, remember the rental car agreement
Yeah,
forbade
you're not
that you're
supposed
not
to.
supposed to do it. Well, there's a good reason why they tell you they don't want you doing that. Although it was beautiful and it was an experience. And when people talk about, yeah, I took the road to Hana, I don't want to one up them and say, oh yeah. I took the back road.
Kind of like that.
The things you do. Well, I do kind of want to go back to Hannah because we missed the Lindbergh grave that's there. Supposedly he's buried somewhere there in some little church. And then what's the name of the little country store? I've got it on the cooler over here. Hasagawa. Yes. And then there's another little country store that I stopped at as you go up to the North Shore. It's there in that Mormon town where the Mormon temple is. There's a little country store there that I like stopping in.
I think I know which one you're talking about. In Paia?
Yes. Well, no, this was over in Oahu, going up to.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know where the Mormon town is here.
Over there's a Mormon temple.
On Oahu, yeah, that's true.
It was in that little town. As you come out of it, there was a little country store there on the left that I don't know why I got off on country stores. Because I got the Hasagawa.
Yeah.
I got that sticker over on the cooler. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, this is good. You look good. You're doing good. Very proud of you. This is good. Thanks. Good. And this is I was going to say this at the intro, and I may yet, but this is our first Buzzy Zoom podcast, and it's appropriate that it's with my firstborn, you, right? And it's our first transcontinental oceanic podcast too. So it's right that this was the first. We will do it again. How's that?
Sounds good. And I just got to say, I couldn't have done it without you because, when you tell me, don't worry, when I'm in distress, don't worry, you'll land on your feet.
You always do.
Don't worry, go in there and just have fun. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that. So your words mean a lot to me.
Well, thank you.
Because I know you're speaking from your heart and the truth, because you know me, because you raised me.
I do.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
See you.
This is Chief Larry, and if you're enjoying Jay Scott and the Buzzy's Country Store podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, you're always welcomed here at Buzzy's.